I was supposed to be a gap filler until they could find someone after JBL left, and yeah, here we are 2 years later, and I'm still doing everything. But I'm not complaining, man. I'm at my happiest when I'm busy. I go stir crazy. I was actually talking to the guy at the front desk when I was checking into the hotel, and he was like, "Man, do you ever get a break? I see you all the time." I was down here, for work reasons today in Orlando, and I flew out from Boston after SmackDown this morning, and I said, in theory, I would love a vacation, but realistically, knowing me and how I'm wired, I'd probably self-destruct. I just don't do well with downtime, and especially at this rate. I love being so in tune with Raw and SmackDown all the time, where I almost don't have to think. It's reactionary because I'm so ingrained in it, and my thought process is almost flawless in that I know what happened the week before, and I know what happened last night. So I can, especially with, let's be honest, as confusing and chaotic as it's been with the wild card rule and the brand split. I don't know what the status of that is, but everyone's on every show now. It can be really hard to follow. I'll even admit that, but it's good for me because I'm in that circumstance all the time. So it's pretty easy for me to just kind of go, oh, okay, I can sort of at least BS my way through why this is happening. But again, I try not to take too much credit. And it's funny to me. I read social media, and I think social media as a whole, whether it be wrestling or whatever walk of life you're into, I think it's just kind of like become a fountain of negativity. But I don't read too deeply into it, and I feel like anybody who is passionate enough to be angry would understand that everybody's doing their best, man. I mean, Seth Rollins caught a lot of crap a few weeks ago because he stood up on behalf of everybody, and that's our champion. That's our guy, you know what I mean? And everybody in the company, I guarantee you, was going, hell yeah, man, that's our guy standing up for all of us. Agreed. Is it perfect? No. Does it need work? Absolutely. But it doesn't mean everybody's not giving it 150% and sleepless nights and countless hours on the road. We're trying, man. You know what I mean? It's imperfect. There's a lot of different factors in play, more so than just people going, oh, well, Vince doesn't know. Trust me, there's a lot bigger things in play than just what goes on in the creative meeting. I mean, people don't seem to realize it's a corporation. There's sponsors, there's networks, there's all sorts of crazy different aspects. It's not your job as a wrestling fan to even concern yourself with. I understand, but it's just one of those things like, hang tight. We'll right the ship.
Do you ever think, though, Seth Rollins, yes, he is a champion, and it is good for him to kind of get out in front of him and say stuff like that, but do you ever kind of cringe or think, like, oh, maybe he shouldn't respond back to a guy from another federation, like a Will Ospreay, who, is a great wrestler in his own right, but maybe Seth should kind of not be above it, but almost like stay away from those guys? You know what?
We've all had, I'm pretty sure they still do it when you get hired to NXT. You go through a class with social media and media training and all that. At the end of the day, from Seth Rollins to everybody on the roster, myself included, to producers, we're all human beings at the end of the day. So when you get done with a show and you feel good about something you did and you log onto your Twitter just to read like, oh, hey, I wonder if people like this thing. And it's just hours and hours and hours of this sucks. The company sucks. You should all be fired. Everything, you know what I mean? You're a human being at the end of the day. You know what I mean? As much as we probably all got a lot thicker skin than your average everyday human being. If you work, in a bank and people are sending you hundreds of awful tweets about how you screwed up their transaction and they want you to be fired, probably rock you a little bit more than we do. But Seth's doing it. It was morale, man. He's a locker room leader. The same as in generations past. Somebody always wants to wave the flag on behalf of the boys and the talent, and I mean that. I also include the girls, but when just the boys and everybody, and it's even bigger than that because. You don't realize, because they're not on TV, the incredible crew that we have that travels with just as much as we do, just as frequently as we do. And they're at the building before the talent arrives, and they're there breaking down afterwards. And they care as much as we do. You know what I mean? They happen not to be on screen. But that was simply, in my opinion, Seth's way of going, hey, you know what? Screw you. I know. I get you guys are upset. It doesn't mean he was standing up for everybody, man. And I respect the shit out of that. I think everybody does. And I think we need more people like that are willing to wave the flag and just go, you know what? Yeah, cool. Is it perfect? No. We're going to do our best. And we still do our best night after night, in spite of some circumstances and problems that are obvious.
Now, where do you see kind of WWE going from here? Like, the ratings were kind of down for a little bit, but they seem to be going back up with some of the new announcements. Do you see it just keep going up and up and up, and them kind of just, adding more fuel to the fire and, not only, like you say, cleaning up some of the details and things like that, but, elevating some guys and doing things? Like, where do you see WWE? You see the ratings kind of headed upward trend?
Hey, man, this is I'm gonna give you maybe a weird analogy. I don't know if it's going to be good or not. Even Disney every once in a while turns out a movie that sucks. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
It doesn't sink Disney. People don't stop loving Mickey Mouse. They go, oh, man, that movie sucked, and we're not going to go see it again. All right. And then Disney goes, oh, that movie sucked. Maybe we should make the next one a little bit better. And it is what it is. WWE is not going anywhere. I'm excited for the state of the business. I like that the business is heating up. And I don't want to call it competition yet, but it's something healthy and respectable. And I say the word yet, that being the operative word, and I'm hoping the best for everybody. And I think the best thing that can happen for everyone is competition, because when everybody's got to be on their toes all the time, nobody gets complacent, everybody's at their best all the time, and the only people that really win are the fans, man. I lived through the Monday Night Wars, and I could tell you, the entire time they were going on, I probably never was not at my house on a Monday night from 8 p.m. to 11 my entire high school career and beyond.